The Denver Arts Festival is like the kickoff to Arts Fests, and it's a good one to start with because it's rated as one of the top shows in the country. With me, Executive Director Yana Novak. Hello, Yana.
Hello.
Good to see you here again.
Yes, very much so.
Absolutely. So share more about yourself and your experience in dealing with the art world and how you got started in this.
Absolutely. So I originally am a freelance writer, first and foremost.
Nice.
And then I have a second business, which is that I own the Denver Graffiti Tour. So if anybody wants to do walking tours of the street art in the Rhino Art District.
That's awesome.
And then I got into this business actually originally because of the nonprofit that is involved with the festival, the Colorado Pet Pantry. That's one of the charities that I work closely with. So when Jim decided to move on, and he's still running the Affordable Arts Festival, she contacted me and said, hey, I think there's this great opportunity. And for me, it was wonderful because it is full circle. It is that idea of I grew up and my father was an author and my mother was a fine art artist.
Oh, wow.
So this was about me being able to come back to what I grew up with.
Sure.
I like to joke that I was born with a paintbrush in my hand and a pen in my
other
hand. Yes,
hand.
exactly.
I'm an art history major. My mother was an artist.
I love
and
that.
Studied and worked at the National Gallery of Art. So this is stuff that really piques my interest. There will be more than 145 artists, speaking of, at the festival. What kind of art can we expect to see?
So this gives a good idea of all of the different categories that we have covered. We have everything from functional wood to sculpture, decorative wood. We have glass art, we have ceramics, clay, we have sculpture, we have printmaking, we have leather and fabric, like the purse over there. Isn't that stunning?
Yeah, that's
and
beautiful.
then we have paintings, and we have watercolors, and we have photography. So basically every category you could think of that you might be interested in. And it will all be original art, and the prices are everything from very inexpensive to there's a guy who does sculptures where those are in the tens of thousands.
Yeah,
but it's
so
worth
that's
it, yes.
big money. But I thought stuff there that was like 100, 150.
Exactly.
And I have it hanging, and it's like, I feel very proud that I bought original art from Denver. Talk about a couple of pieces you brought today. Let's start with over here.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the purse, since you didn't notice that, is wonderful. It's a local artist named Corinne Pogaleski, and she works with fabrics and metals and leather, and it's all hand cut and hand assembled to make these incredible pieces that have vibrant colors, and it really is a unique, one-of-a-kind piece of art that you can wear, which is incredible.
What a fun thing for summer, too.
Exactly.
That would be beautiful. Okay, what's the next one?
So I really wanted to highlight the wood piece there because that's one of our local artists, Joe Anastasia. And as you can see, he does functional. It is a wine rack. So for those of us who happen to like their wine like me, it's perfect. And one of the things he does that's so unusual is he is able to sort of weave these hardwoods together to create these beautiful works of art. So that is multiple different types of wood that you see in that piece.
Lovely. I love that intertwining. This is stunning.
Isn't
you
it?
could even have this just as a sculpture by itself, right?
Exactly. In fact, when I first got the piece, several people saw it at my house and went, what beautiful art, what beautiful sculpture. And I'm like, oh, but look what it does.
Look what it can hold.
Exactly.
It's even more beautiful.
Exactly.
All right, take me over here.
Sure, so really quickly, we there have printmaking by Ginny Vinker. So that is that idea of it's printmaking and graphics that people will often do, and it's sort of in a discussion of culture, a lot of the idea. This is a sculpture where he does bronze wildlife, and he uses found items and antiques that he puts together.
Whoa.
So an incredibly heavy but beautiful piece.
This is something I could see myself getting.
Exactly.
Like, this speaks to me a lot.
And he said, and that's actually part of the reason of what I love about art is that idea that it speaks to people.
Yes.
And so it really connects you both to community and to a piece that just could be different, that you may think nobody else has your taste and you can find it. It's why you see such a variety of art. You know, for example, Julie Dewell's over there, and versus David Martinez that you have underneath, which very much covers his culture. And then you have Dr. Thomas Larkart over here. This is called Summer Refresh, which is why I picked it, because that whole idea of a watermelon and a drink is kind of perfect for the season we're about to come into.
Amen, amen.
Exactly. And then you have the decorative pieces that are gorgeous, like the abstract art that Jackie Fisher does, Artful Elements. And then Russ Skinner, who does the more decorative sculptural wood piece here. And that's sort of another idea of community.
Nice.
So Russ lives up in Fort Collins, Joe Anastasia lives in Loveland, and I connected the two of them so that one person could bring the art down. So Russ actually drove the art down, rather than Joe and his wife Trina having to drive it down
and
just to drop it off.
The thing about art is the community. I mean, I think that's such an important part of this. What about this guy, the Dr.
Dr. Lockhart. So this is his piece, and it's interesting. He does a lot of pieces that are sort of cultural and an expression of that, and sometimes almost in a surreal sense, which is really pretty. And he is actually currently in New York City live painting for a Malcolm X event going on.
Fabulous.
And that's one of the fun things about art, is that you can have these moments that have a lot of meaning, and then you can have ones that are just beautiful and they have meaning to you.
Exactly.
Most artists make art because they're trying to express themselves.
Say something.
So exactly, it's first and foremost about themselves, and then they put it out there, and it's this wonderful sense of, wow, someone else. And that's where community comes in. Sometimes you'll look at art and be, I didn't know anybody else experiences this or goes through it. And it's wonderful to see this expression of understanding, so it can bring you closer together in that sense.
And it's also okay if you don't get it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's not for everyone, but something is going to speak to you.
Exactly.
Something is going to do that. So the Denver Arts Festival happens Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, May 23rd, and Sunday, May 24th. It starts at 10 a.m. in Central Park. For directions, details, and more about the artists, go to denverartsfestival.com. Thank you, Yana. This is beautiful.